All right, besties, I know the morning class isn't for everyone, so in case you missed it, here's everything I taught today. I do use a block in the class, but don't worry if you don't have one. It's just there to add another layer of instability, so you don't really need it. Starting off with core, the block is coming in between your shins, and if you don't have one, don't worry, you're just gonna squeeze your legs together. Super important here that as you tap your toes down to the mat, you're lowering from your hip and not just bending your knee to drop your legs. And anytime you're lowering your legs, the goal is to keep the center of your body from moving. With these block swaps, notice how I keep my shoulder blades up off the mat, so I'm not lowering my head when I reach it out. Then you have two options for this piece. You can keep the non-working leg extended, or you can lift it to tabletop. And you're still trying to keep both shoulder blades up off the mat, maintaining that crunch in your core. Moving on to side kneeling, this is honestly one of my favorite side series. Make sure as you lift and reach, you're pulling your shoulder back and creating space in the front of your body so you're not rounding forward. For these push-ups, try to hug your elbows in as much as possible and use your triceps. For all these movements in a plank, I want you to make sure that you're coming back to your high plank every single time. Trying to keep your hips in line with your shoulders and your tailbone tucked under. So make sure your weight stays shifted forward so that your butt isn't stuck up in the air, but also don't let your hips drop. Also super important that when you're in tabletop, you're keeping your hip dialed down and not opening it up to the side. And of course, as always, you're extending to a neutral spine, so you're not arching your back to get your leg higher. I like having the block here as a reminder of where to place your knee, but again, if you don't have it, don't worry about it. For this next piece, when your forearm comes down to the mat, make sure that you're still pressing into your elbow so you're not sinking down into your shoulder. And as your leg moves, the center of your body does not. For this next piece, I always like to suggest to my class that as they extend their leg back, they add a little hop of the knee. Only 1 or 2 people ever try it though, and I know that more can do it. So I pause with the movement and ask everyone to at least try a 10-second hold, and you'd be surprised how many knees get up off those blocks. Bye.